Well, good afternoon, folks. It's a lovely Sunday. Birds are being rather chatty. Well, anyways, I'm going to flip this around real quick here. Hello. Well, first of all, before I start on the Sunday update, I just want to apologize. I didn't really get much out this last week in way of any videos or content. I was not feeling all that great. I had a really bad sinus headache, and so I just kind of felt too tired and achy to really do anything. Yeah, I started feeling a little better yesterday. Went down with my mom to my sister's house in Lehigh. She had got my mom a really nice iPad and was showing her how to do it. And I went to be a driver. My mother's 81. She's quite capable of taking the drive, but she does admit that 4-hour drive is a little more tiring for her than it used to be. So I went along as driver. But this morning I got up and I was feeling much better. The headache is gone, the sinus pain is gone, and I've been feeling a little restless. You get feeling restless when you're feeling better. So without further ado, we're going to get on to our little garden update. First of all, look at that. Very interesting. Huh. It really does like the marigolds. Where'd it go? I lost it. There we go. Huh. It's just a very interesting. There we go. Well, you noticed I've got a couple of Marigolds that have ripened. These are my most favorite cherry tomato ever. They are so sweet. These are the first two to ripen. Got a bunch of green ones there. Hopefully they'll be ripening soon. Everything's been a little late this year because of how cold and chilly our spring is. I'm not the only one around here who's been a little disappointed in the fact that our gardens are just not as lush as they normally are. I had some pictures come up in my memories on Facebook that from 2 years ago, and 2 years ago my tomatoes were so thick you couldn't see the cages, and they had topped over the top of the cages. And my peas, which normally do really super good, are still, they never quite, you know, that Facebook memory 2 years ago, once again, they had climbed over the top of the fence and you couldn't even see the top of the post there. They had literally gotten that high that they'd covered up the top of the post. That was this time 2 years ago. So while my tomatoes, and if you look at this little one from my daughter, this little tomato plant that given to me by my daughter, she gave me two. This is the surviving one. It's got a tomato on it. These are beefsteak tomatoes. My mother got 4 of them from my daughter, and 3 survived, and one of them just barely. She picked her first big beefsteak tomato. That thing looks like it weighs half a pound. It's huge. But I've got just about all my tomato plants now have at least 1 tomato, if not 2. This is my Cherokee purple. I got 1 right there, and hiding way down there is another one. Everybody's got fruit on them now. or blossoms. This one's still putting out lots of blossoms. I'm hoping you'll get some fruit out. It's supposed to have it's, you know, I think this one is my Sunny Boy. I think. I'm not sure. I need to find the tag. I don't know where the tag is on here. It's buried. I put the tags in front. Oh yeah, this is the great white. I don't know what great white means, but it's been blooming really well. Just hasn't set any fruit, so I don't know. Anyways, a few days ago I came out here, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, and picked big old zucchini off of here. Well, I come out here today because I picked the big one. And what do you think I have in here again? Another large zucchini. That thing just ripened and got so big so fast. Oh, so I got another one I gotta pick. My yellow summer squash, my straight neck squash, is doing pretty good. We've had some winds, and yes, all this damage on the leaves and these broken, damaged stalks with the dead leaves, that's all wind damage. We've had some winds. The winds that came in the Friday before I started feeling really crappy with sinus pain were really, really strong, and they did a lot of this damage. Was done over a week ago. The rest of it is from, well, the winds we've had this last week too. We've had more wind, and it's wind damage. My volunteer tomato, which is right here next to my eggplant, my little volunteer tomato here is got blossoms. So hopefully it will set fruit, and I'll figure out what kind of tomato I got there. My little watermelon plants that finally decided they were going to live are starting to bloom too. A little late in the year here in Idaho. Should already had some good sized watermelons. But yep, it looks like I need to come out and pick some more squash. My squash is getting big fast. They grow so quickly. So, we're going to go over and take a look at the raspberries, the pumpkin patch, and our sunflowers. Well, as you can see, it doesn't take long for raspberries to start ripening. I've got ripe raspberries there. I got more ripe raspberries. Oh, go. You see all those raspberries. They're all just ripening up. I'm going to need to go and get a bucket. I don't think I can carry them all in one hand. I think I got a few too many that have ripened up over the last few days while I was not feeling great, and so I wasn't getting out here. And yeah, they're getting ripe. And got the bees are just buzzing in the raspberries. It's got so many blossoms. The new canes are all blooming. So we've just got bumblebees and honeybees and my little other pollinators. I've got so many different little pollinators that show up. More raspberries here. The raspberries are doing really well. So yeah. And the winds are picking up. I was trying to get a picture of one of the bees. Yeah, raspberries are doing very, very well. The pumpkin patch, now let's zoom back out. The pumpkin patch is getting huge. The vines are getting huge. They're really spreading out. I know I've got a few baby pumpkins in there, but they're little tiny tennis ball size. Really, really hoping that this warm weather continues and we don't get an early frost this fall, because I really, really want a good pumpkin crop this year for my grandkids. These are all the Big Macs vines. I'm gonna do my best this year to make sure everything gets nicely covered, especially in the fall. I generally definitely need to cover things in the fall. Need to get out here and do some weeding too. The weeds are really growing. This is what happens. I was just not feeling well enough to actually get out here and do any weeding this last week. Didn't mow, didn't weed. Nothing really much got done that should have gotten done, so I'm kind of behind on getting all my yard work done. Oops. Sorry for that. Didn't mean to cover up with my hand. Still waiting for this to put out some female flowers so I can see what it is I have growing here. All the flowers so far it's been putting out are all male flowers. I'm just not sure why this thing is growing the way it is normally, you know. It's just, if it is a pumpkin, I don't know why the vines aren't shooting out long while it's staying so short and bunchy. It's really very strange. This one looks like it started doing the same thing, but then it's suddenly took off and the vines have just shot out everywhere. As you can see, it's got a nice little female flower there that's about to flower and hopefully get pollinated, and we'll get a nice little pumpkin there. That would be great. It's getting really hard to get back in and look in. Pretty soon the pumpkin vines are going to be covering this area so thoroughly I won't be able to even walk into the middle of the pumpkin patch. And that means I really won't know until the vines die back in the fall how many pumpkins I have, what varieties I have. It's usually always a big surprise. I just plant and pray and then hope that we get some really get a good crop. I do like to just peer in. It's like, is there anything in there yet? Hard to see. This is that time of year where the vines take over. The pumpkin patch fills in. And until the baby pumpkins start getting big, I really don't know how many and what varieties, and we'll do the best. But I'm praying that we get a good crop of pumpkins in a couple months. I just know that once they develop, they will take off and start growing. And there's a little one. This is a Big Max. They tend to be yellow, and then they get more of a orangey peach color as they get bigger and more mature. See, I've got plenty of flowers in there. It's kind of guiding my vines here to keep them out of the... Gotta guide the vines. Keep them out of the lawn as much as possible. They will eventually grow out into the lawn. They do every year. One little pumpkin I know I have. You can see down there my little jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. That's the first one to set fruit. So that one's there. It's doing good. And now, if you want to, we'll come over to the fence. And you see just how big these sunflowers are. They are really huge. I'm going to stand here in the shade. I actually have to look up at them. They are so tall. And they're just starting to get their seed heads on, so they're going to be blooming soon. Way up in the top. And it's going to look so pretty by fall. Because, well, they'll just be, they're so tall. And when they're all blooming, that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. They're doing very well. I'm very happy with the way my sunflowers are turning out this year. I'm just really happy with them. They're so gorgeous. Wasn't that long ago, it seems like they were just little seedlings at the base of the fence here, and now they're towering over it. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the garden update. Next Sunday I'll do another update. This week I'll try to get some little short videos done and get them posted. Apparently people like watching my short little videos. I really like it out here under the trees, in the shade, with the birds. So, if you like this video, just like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon. Share it with your friends. I really appreciate the support. And I will see you all on the next video.